You might be mistaken for thinking an enormous spaceship has landed in Cupertino, California. But what you are looking at is actually tech giant Apple's new HQ. This stunning, futuristic-looking structure, which is built over an area of 176 acres, has been a costly undertaking and has been a long time in the making. Although the project was initially announced by Steve Jobs as long ago as 2006, there were many hurdles to jump through with planning and permit applications. However, after 8 years, construction was well underway, and by 2017 the colossal Apple workforce was already starting to move in. In all its high-tech and eco-friendly glory, the massive building is a fitting representation of the worldwide domination of the Apple brand. It serves as an excellent testimony to the company's commitment to effortless design and sustainability, and the future of technology. The original price of the build was estimated to be around $500 million, but that turned out to be a massive underestimate. The land alone cost $160 million, and costs started to mount pretty rapidly. By 2011, the budget had already risen to just under $3 billion. But the final bill would be more in the region of a massive $5 billion. Now, $5 billion is a huge sum of money for any company. But we shouldn't forget that Apple is currently worth some $2 trillion and is predicted to be looking at a profit of some $60 billion by the end of this year alone. So, what was all the money spent on, and what makes the appropriately named Apple Park such an amazing place to work? Well, before we even begin to think about the multiple buildings on the site, it's important to say that 80% of the park is considered to be green space. It was vital that Apple and the designers of the park to make every effort to ensure that the park blended into the nature that surrounded it. This meant planting over 9,000 drought-resistant trees such as cherry, apricot, and olive. But, of course, there had to be some space for a few varieties of apple trees, too. Thinking about the health and well-being of its workers, Apple has ensured the grounds offer over 3 kilometers of walking and running tracks, and even provide 1,000 bikes on site that can be used by employees to get from one building to another. To encourage its staff to maintain a healthy lifestyle, on-site facilities also include a gym, wellness center, and a couple of basketball courts. If the downward dog is more your thing, there is also a 2-story yoga studio where you can stretch out and wind down after a busy and productive day. Apple Park makes every effort to look after its staff and their well-being, but it never takes its eye off the environment. No surprise, then, that the roof of the main ring-shaped building is one of the world's largest solar farms and generates 17 megawatts of power. This is sufficient to meet 75% of the energy requirements of the whole site during peak times. And if that wasn't eco-friendly enough, the remainder of the campus's energy needs are met by on-site fuel cells powered by biodiesel or natural gas. The main building also uses a natural ventilation system which doesn't utilize traditional heating and cooling methods for 9 months of the year, which further boosts the park's green credentials. The main building on the site, which is often referred to as the spaceship or the ring, is a very impressive site. It comprises 4 stories with over 1.2 million square feet of office space, which is enough to accommodate over 12,000 people. A lot of glass is incorporated into the building as the designers wanted to find a way to bring the outside into the office space. The building boasts the largest curved glass panels in the world. There are 800 45-foot-tall curved glass panels around the building's exterior and around 3,000 smaller panels inside. You can imagine how amazingly bright the sheer amount of see-through material make the interior. And when this is combined with low-energy LEDs and natural sunlight, the end effect is a stunningly bright work environment for the 12,000 members of staff, something that's bound to make workers feel more alert and energized. In addition to the splendor above ground, Apple Park also hides some of its best features underground. Even the worst of Californian earthquakes will struggle to do any damage when confronted with the base isolation system which protects the main ring building. The isolation system is made up of 692 huge stainless steel plates, which allow the building to move up to 4 feet in any given direction without causing any structural damage. There is also extensive underground parking and a road network, which is concealed neatly underground with a view to maximizing the green space in and around the Apple Park. Members of staff never need to go hungry on site, as there are 7 cafes with seating sufficient for some 3,000 people and capacity to feed 15,000 people at lunchtime. With 12,000 people employed there at present, that leaves plenty of potential for expansion. One of the most inspiring buildings in the park's grounds is the spectacular Apple Auditorium, formerly known as the Steve Jobs Theater. The circular glass building mirrors the spaceship in its form and boasts the world's largest carbon fiber roof and a 42-foot-high glass elevator which takes guests underground to the 1,000-seat auditorium. Made from chemically tempered glass, the elevator is also considered to be the tallest freestanding glass elevator in the world. Other buildings on the massive site include a 100,000-square-foot fitness center, 2 300,000-square-foot research and development facilities, a care center, and the visitor center, the only building the general public can actually visit without a pass. The visitor center is divided into 4 different sections, all under the same roof: a 10,000-square-foot Apple store, 2,000-square-foot cafe, an observation deck where you inspect the campus, and a designated AR experience area with a scale model of the whole site. Apple Park, with all its features and amenities, offers an amazing working environment. But as you have seen, it is far more than just a workspace, with its leisure facilities, energy-saving features, and careful integration into the local environment. Apple has thought of everything from their environmental footprint to keeping their workers happy with food, leisure, and creativity. The site sets a new standard for the workplace of the future.